Hello and welcome to a free pack review of Mezco's Mortal Kombat X action figures, 1/12 scale. We have Raiden from Wave and Kitana and Quan from Wave 2. Wave 1 of course also consists of Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Of course those are sold out in the shop in Hong Kong. They were selling a bloodied version of Sub-Zero as well as a half transparent or teleporting version of Raiden, which I don't care about those special versions. There's also like a half ice version of Sub-Zero. Again, I don't care about those. I want original normal looks of them, but because A, they're sold out very quickly, and B, they hardly any shops in Hong Kong sell Mortal Kombat X figures. So maybe bootlegs will come along, but official ones, no. And in Wave 2 there's also, I think it's Quan, the son of the main bad guy of Mortal Kombat X. And since I haven't played the story of Mortal Kombat X, I don't really care about that character. And plus he's not a long existing character like any of these guys. I would have left Quan Chi as well if it weren't for him, you know, being the only bad guy figure I could have, as well as a character that's existed in multiple previous Mortal Kombats. So the box packaging here is actually not too bad. You got a very hard back as well as a Mortal Kombat logo molded into the front plastic here, as well as the logo on the back. The character names are based on the colors of the character himself. And on the back of the boxes you have a brief description of these characters. So, and also shows you what you have. But they're not too... Oops, this light's shining on it too much. There we go. But there's actually a bit of a problem with the Quan Chi packaging because it says it includes a skull, but it actually also includes two really thin, transparent green skeleton arms and hands. But as always with these kind of American figures, it's all on card back, meaning you cannot rescue the figure from the prison of plastic shell without destroying the packaging. That's really annoying. So right now I'm not sure whether to keep this packaging or not. I mean, I'm gonna play around these figures. Am I gonna resell these figures? It's really annoying. I guess I'll keep the packaging for now until I run out of space or stuff like that. I did get rid of all my Ninja Turtle cardback packaging, and I just put all the accessories in a little box that says TMNT on it. Another thing that's bad about this packaging is it's a complete waste of space. Lots of space is wasted. So when you do get these out, they do come out like this. So it's almost like it's a cross between a Japanese packaging and Asian and Western packaging. It's got a card back, but when you do open it up, it does have a little plastic cover covering all the toys in a little plastic shell. So it's like a keyhole. I almost should just keep this chunk and maybe just glue this on or something, the Quan Chi thing, and not keep the other packaging. So in terms of accessories, since Raiden's hat comes off, I'm going to count that as accessory. I'd probably recommend a little bit of blue tack just to secure it a little bit, but it's made out of softish material, so for the most part it does stay on the figure quite well. It's painted quite nicely as well, so that's a good hat. He's got a little ice block that has a little peg that pegs into his current right arm, his relaxed hand on the figure. And apart from the relaxed hands on the figure, you also have two spray open hands, as well as two electric beamy hands, which look kind of cool. On to Quan Chi. Well, he has these two skeleton arms that actually plug into the back of him, like so. Like that. A transparent green skull. His giant sort of orcish blade. He has two fists there, as well as two hands for holding items, of course. And Kitana has a ton of accessories right here, the most out of all these three characters. She has two blades there, two fan blades. These are packaged on the back of the cardboard, so they have another card back to rip out to get these, so the box is completely ruined. But yeah, these few a little bit thin, a little bit fragile. Just listen to my nails clicking on it. Yeah, you can, very thin, so be very careful with these. It's obviously why these were packaged with the cardboard on the bottom surface, but still, feels like, yeah, it could have been a better way of doing that. So I got these two blades also feel quite thin. They're a little bit durable. Let's see, yeah, doesn't feel like it's going to snap too easily, but again, be careful. So apart from the relaxed hands on her, she's got these two palm hands, flat palm hands, these two item sword holding hands, which I guess double as fists here, because no fist. Actually, Raiden doesn't have any fists either. As well as these ones, which are for holding these two fan holding hands. So let's take a quick look at the scale. You can see that the Funko Fallout figure is clearly bigger than all of them, taller than all of them, so the scale is a bit bigger than that. SH Figuarts Darth Vader is also bigger than them, and of course the model kit, Bandai model kit right there, is a lot taller than all of them. If I put a Michael Jackson here, you can see SH Figuarts Michael Jackson, you can see they're actually more in line with the standard SH Figuarts scale than they are with any of the taller variants. Oops, Michael's hat just fell off. So if I was to get a Bruce Lee figure, whoops, his leg just fell off. There's Bruce Lee. Now Bruce Lee was never that tall, so of course he's going to look a little bit shorter there. And we're going to bring in a Shocker combatant here. You can see it is also the same scale as Quan. If we bring in one of the most recent releases of Kamen Decado, you can see it's the same scale there, and of course Rilakkuma is that scale compared to them. So let's go through the articulation. These guys are actually not too bad. We have a board joint for each of the heads on all of them. All of them have a swiveling joint for the arm. Now she has a bit of an armor pack there, so it does get in the way. Single elbow 90-degree joints, as well as swiveling joints on the hands. Torso is on a board joint. If you move her up, you can see that the clothing gets disconnected, so that's a little bit annoying, but oh well. Legs go up, rotate, go up, go back. Full rotation here, by the way. See, it's actually a little board joint in there. A single knee joint, which goes about 85 degrees. And you got a foot that goes up and down, as well as sideways a little bit. I think it's a ball joint as well. So Raiden, same again, ball joint right there, but he's a little bit stiff due to the bulkiness of his neck, I guess. And I guess she's actually scratching off a bit of the hat on his head right there. It's a little bit annoying. He can rotate his hands all the way on an angle, of course, because of his clothing. Again, ball joint here, very stiff, but at least it's there. These two are soft cloth pieces, actually hide a lot of the joints, but go up. He can still do a lot of poses there. And a single knee joint, foot on a little ball peg. Finally, Quan is the same as Raiden. So ball joint on the head, of course. Arms can go up, quite far up. And well, again, rotating on an angle because of his armor pack. Hands go up, full rotation here, rotation here. Oh, he actually has rotation in the lower joint. And oh, it's got rotating here, rotating here, rotating here. Knee joint, rotating here. Legs can go pretty far up. Not too much up forward though, because of his body pack. But yeah. Wait, that should mean the other two should have a knee rotating joint. Oh. Does he have it? Yes, he does. Kinda. A bit stiff, but it's there. We rotate a little bit. And Kitana. Yep, full rotating joint there. That's cool. That's very cool. Molding and painting wise, these figures are actually pretty good. I'd say a huge step above most other American made toys. I'd say the paint detail is also better than, say, for example, the Hasbro Black series, and also better than the Funko Fallout figures. Articulation is also a huge step above the Funko Fallout figures, and I'd say similar to the Black series, except a bit better, because it doesn't have the clicky joints as much as the Black series does. So I'd say the joints are a little bit, articulation wise, a little bit better than the Black series. And the material and plastic used on the figures themselves are actually pretty good. Everything's done to look very nice. Overall, I give these a huge score. If you compare these, if you were to compare these, say, Japanese versus American figures, I'd say these were closer towards the Japanese side than the American side. It's like they took some ideas from the Japanese action figures and applied them here. Using both hard and softer materials for different parts of the figures, as well as having joints that I have not seen in American figures yet until now. So you might think these figures are really good, and for the most part, for the price that you pay for, these figures are pretty excellent, and I am very happy that they're closer to scale towards the Japanese figure lines. However, while posing and taking photos for these figures, I noticed that these figures can still feel very stiff compared to the Japanese toys, and as well as a huge flaw of paint chipping for some reason from inside the hand sockets. While swapping hands with Raiden, I noticed that the pegs on the hands of Raiden's hands had pulled a lot of paint from inside the socket of the arm, so I'm not sure what's going on there. As well as a huge issue with the transparent electric hands, because both of them, the little pegs, have snapped off, meaning that the transparent plastic they use are far too brittle. They literally snapped after the first time using them. Pulling them out for the first time from the arm socket caused them to snap, and that's a huge no-no, especially if it's just the first time. Now, I don't know if it's my batch that has this issue, or do other people have this issue, or is it because of the shipping process somehow brittled the plastic? Who knows? Who cares? Because that's their problem. They made bad hands. So Raiden electric hands are not recommended for use for anyone. So there you have it. I know Mezco has a good reputation. For example, they released the excellent comic book Ninja Turtle figures a long time ago that even the bootlegs were pretty good. So going in here, I was worried and expecting something at the same time. With their reputation, I was expecting figures that are pretty decent, and looking at them through the packaging, I could see they had a lot of articulation that's even covered quite well. That there's no, where the arm joints are, there's no pegs or holes on the arms for the joints to go in. So unlike most of the Marvel and DC action figures, the joints don't have a little screw peg or whatever. That's really ugly. So yeah, I was expecting a lot from these, and getting them out when first playing them, I was quite impressed. And I still am quite impressed with these figures, because I've been spoiled by Japanese toys, so these aren't bad at all. And for the price they go for, I was quite pleased, because it included the shipping and import fees, because there's no official distributor in Hong Kong. So if you're over in America or Europe and you can get these figures pretty cheap, I'd say go ahead. However, with the breaking hands and the brittleness of some of the accessories, I'd be a little bit worried and a little bit more cautious. Another thing, I did buy these from a shop, so I was able to pick the figures, because there was a Kitana in the shop with slightly wonky eyes, so that print issues can happen there. But aside from that, overall the tattoos and paint details on the figures are actually pretty decent. Phew. And finally, the accessory count is a little bit uneven and all over the place. Some figures have more hands, some figures have less hands. Not all of them have fist hands, some of them do, some of them don't. I feel like if these figures, since they're based on a fighting game, they should at least have fist hands, at least on all of them. Still, it's not too bad, and the accessory count is still a lot better than Hasbro has offered to us. So it's still a step up above other figures. So overall, I do recommend these, but do try to pick them from the shop to make sure you get a good painted version, and do be very careful with any transparent version, especially those special editions with transparent, half-transparent bodies. I dread to think what those joints and articulation would be like. Snapping legs and stuff is not fun. If you found this video useful, please consider clicking the like button, subscribe button, and also leaving a comment below on how you feel about these figures. And of course, you can check out all the other figures I compared these to. You can check, they all have reviews, apart from Kombat a Decade, the new version. I have not filmed that just yet, but I probably will be filming that quite soon. And please check out my videos without any ad block on. I appreciate that a lot, and I also appreciate it if you want to check out Patreon as well. Any help is appreciated. Most importantly, take care, have a nice day. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye now.